Well, just as many of you are heading off on vacation, has COVID-19 also taken a summer break? And should we all get boosted this fall as recommended by federal health authorities? Joining me with more on this is global news medical expert, Dr. Mitch Shulman. Good morning, Dr. Mitch.
Good morning to you and to everyone watching. Hi, gang.
Now, where do we stand on this? Are we going to need to book our COVID-19 booster shot as well as getting our flu shot? Is this something that should be highly recommended?
Yeah, I think so. Look, finally, COVID-19, the virus that causes it, the SARS-CoV-2 virus, has faded into the background, as it should have 2 years ago. It shouldn't have taken this long to do it. This is a very unusual virus. It hasn't behaved the way viruses normally do, especially non-respiratory viruses. So a very unusual virus, taken a lot longer to fade into the background than it should have. We're still seeing active cases, mainly in people who haven't been properly vaccinated or people who have underlying health issues that are compromising their immune system. So they may have chemotherapy, they may be transplant, they may have severe underlying lung disease or something like that. Those are the people we're now seeing, and thank goodness, because most people are properly vaccinated or have unfortunately had the disease, there's a lot less people requiring intensive care. So yes, we're still seeing cases in the emergency room all the time, people usually coming in with a worsening of their underlying, and you pick the disease. But no, most of them are not needing intensive care admissions. That's the good news. The bad news is the virus is still there. And we expect that during the summer, as people spend time outdoors and they're not as close together and the whole bit, you won't see as much spread of the disease. But as soon as the fall comes, and the kids start going back to school and then bring the viruses back home, as soon as we start moving indoors, as soon as the temperature goes down, we spend more time indoors, closer together, we do expect to see a flare of the disease, exactly like we do with the flu or any other respiratory. We see sore throats increase, we see colds increase, we see the flu come around, and we expect COVID-19 to do the same thing. So what should we do? Well, the National Advisory Committee on Immunization, an arm's-length group, they're not part of the government. These are a bunch of scientists who sit down, they look at the data, and when things change, they come out with recommendations. And they've come out with a recommendation. And the recommendation is, as things are right now, come the fall, if you haven't had the disease within the last 6 months, if you haven't been vaccinated or boosted within the last 6 months, we're going to suggest that you get a COVID-19 booster, and they're coming up with 2 different mRNA vaccines based on what's circulating now, so it should protect us better. They're going to suggest a booster of that at the same time as your flu booster. And that makes perfect sense. And look, I'm not going to tell anybody what they have to do, but the beauty of NASA is if you can go online, you can read the recommendations. It's very simply written, very easily and logically written, and they explain why they've come to the conclusion that they've come to. So you can form your own decision. You don't have to listen to me. You don't have to listen to the quote-unquote experts yelling at you to get vaccinated or not get vaccinated. You can actually go online, read their recommendations, and I think most of you will agree with me. The recommendations make perfect sense. And even if you don't care so much about yourself, you think, I can weather it. I had COVID already, or I'm pretty strong, I'm okay. The key thing is we want to avoid the possibility of inadvertently affecting people who can't withstand the disease. So older people, people living in nursing care facilities or long-term care facilities, the pregnant, very young kids, very old people, all these people who have underlying health issues. I don't want to inadvertently get them sick. So I am going to get vaccinated, not only to protect myself, but to protect those people I care about and that I love.